Hey everyone, this is Key Creative Studio, Master Drawer in Japan. Let's make a point to draw every day. So, in my last video, I was talking about like gesture drawing and like using how to draw comics the Marvel way as a guide, and there was something that I left out that I thought was kind of important in terms of like what makes something being drawn the Marvel way. Now, I'm not recommending this as the way to draw. However, this is something that might make your drawing seem like a little bit more interesting. Or if you're looking for a kind of dramatic punch to to your drawings, this is something you might want to keep in mind. All right, so for example, um, you know, we could draw, we can draw a figure, standing and pointing, right? Like this, right? Okay, here's our guy. He's pointing off to the side, right? Like this. And for all practical purposes, this works. This works just fine, right? If you just you need to just convey, that if we have a person pointing, off to the side, right? Okay, all right. So this there's that kind of function, right? Matter of fact, I'll even tilt the head down, give it maybe kind of a sense of drama or something like that, right? So that can work. Um, that can work just fine, right? But there's a difference between you know drawing something like this, which is just information or whatever, and um, then if I drew another figure like this, um, I really have to make a point to uh, make this clear here. But yeah, if I did someone like this, right? So all I'm basically doing is actually, I'll even do that. Is setting the legs apart wider, and what? I'll do it this way. Yeah, like making everything like larger than life in terms of like this pose, right? And typically Um, no, nobody, um, nobody stands like this. Um, unless they're like in a Broadway musical or something like that. Again, tilt the head down for drama, whatever. So what I'm illustrating here is um, I guess is like a feeling of a dynamic feeling as opposed to just like okay like we're drawing a figure that looks convincing you know um, I think it's also important to make sure like what we have has some kind of um, um, energy to it. So you make things larger than life. You try to foreshorten as much as you can. All right. So for whatever it's worth, we can argue that um, this quick sketch that I have here actually you know reads better. Actually, if you I don't know if you can see like in the navigator here, um, the one to the right actually our eyes go to that one. We can't help it, right? It goes immediately to that. Um, so now keep in mind you know you know John Buscema, Jack Kirby, people working in comics. They're drawing for a particular um, they're drawing for a particular audience and medium. So I mean this does not necessarily have to be your way of drawing, but this is something that might give a little bit more dynamic feeling for it. So that's something you want to keep in mind. Okay. Um, there's one other thing actually. I wanted to um, talk about that was also in uh, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. Okay, it doesn't matter. Um, which was drawing characters. Sorry, drawing gestures that utilizes a line of action, right? And I did a video about this long ago, about like what the line of action is, and I think it's important to understand that the line of action is not the gesture, right? The gesture is like what the character is doing. The line of action is just a tool to help direct your audience's eye into like where you want the action to go, right? So for example, if I did a guy punching, even like punching with like relative power or something like that. Okay. So this is okay in terms of us like getting a feel for a person, you know, punching or something like that, right? Okay, that's fine, right? Okay. The thing is that, well, the question is, how can we make this image feel more dynamic, right? Like how can we work this so this has like more of a sense of power and like really like involve our audience, right? So there's something um, that a lot of people like in animation or in comics or in cartooning use. They do something like a line of action. So look, this is just a person punching, right? All right, so that's fine. But if push it, what we can do is we can do the sweeping action like this. So basically, it's the same. It's the same general pose, right? However, I'm using this sweep to guide our eyes to go from like one point to another point. So now it feels like um, there's a lot of power. There's a lot of power to it, right? So I guess what I'm trying to what I want to get at is that when if you use this, please remember that this line of action um, is just a tool, okay? It's not really meant to be um, oops. It's really not meant to be a replacement um, for the gesture, but it's just like it's something that's gonna help give your gesture um, a little bit more, pardon the pun, a little bit more punch to it. But you have to like keep in mind, and like we're getting to a territory now where um, um, matters such as like anatomy, are going to be compromised a little bit. So the question is like, how far do we push this? How far can we push this, right? Without it breaking, so to speak. And like losing the believability that we need. Okay. So that's just something um, I hope that makes sense to you guys. Um, because this is just this is a feeling, right? And that conveys a lot. So I guess the trick is, that we want to um, you don't want it to like lose like a sense of like believability, but you do want to keep like a sense of like action to it, right? That makes it interesting. Okay. All right. So with that, I'm gonna bring this to a close. Um, if you like what you saw today or this was helpful, please please subscribe, leave a comment, all that stuff. Um, if you have any requests, um, please feel free to ask because I'm looking for good topics for you guys to for me to talk to you guys about. Okay. Okay. All right. I think I got the idea here. All right. So. All right. Okay. All right. I'll stop there. I'll see you guys next time. All right. Take care. All right. Bye bye.